So if you've been paying attention to the news lately, you've probably been hearing a lot about AI, artificial intelligence, and it's having a huge impact in a lot of different areas. And specifically, there is a platform called ChatGPT that you can check out. And if you go to the ChatGPT website, you can go in there, you can ask it questions, all sorts of crazy things. And one of the things that's really interesting, Willie, is you can go to ChatGPT and you can even have it write songs for you, which is pretty wild. So my question to you, what do you feel about AI's future in music? Do you see this being a detrimental thing for musicians and songwriters? Or do you see this as something that could potentially help songwriters and musicians?
Pete, that's an interesting question. Before I go into is it good or bad? I think the first thing that needs to be said is that we've all learned that when these things arrive, they don't arrive and leave. So it's here. Like, this is going to be part of things. My first reaction is I don't love this idea. And the reason why is because it's one thing if, I guess, people are going to use ChatGPT to give me my daily weather report, or maybe it helps to expedite the filing of legal briefs, things that are sort of vanilla and basic and not so artistic. But I guess it will probably have a place, just because I think that these devices, or should I say software, is becoming so smart, so intuitive. I don't know how well, Pete, I would do distinguishing between something that was written by a human and something that was written by a computer. I mean, Pete, didn't you recently go ahead and try to throw some things into it and see what kind of song it gave you?
Yeah, we did. So we went to ChatGPT and we had it write a blues song. And we wrote an article about this on bluesrockreview.com. So if you're interested in checking that out, but we're going to go over a little bit about the results right now. So we went to ChatGPT and we asked it, write a blues song with heartfelt lyrics and emotion. Okay. And it came up with this song in less than a minute. Okay. So these are the lyrics here. This is verse number 1. I've been walking down this road for so long, hoping for a light to guide me home, but every turn I take just leads me to the same old song, and I'm left here all alone. Now we go to the chorus, and it says, 'cause these hard times, they come and go, and they leave me feeling so low, but I keep on searching for the light to guide me home through these blues and all my sorrows. So there you've got verse, chorus, and then we've got, so the second verse goes, I've been searching for a love that's true, something to take these blues away, but every time I find it, it just slips right through, and I'm left here feeling blue. So then it goes back to the chorus, and then it came up with a bridge. And then so for the bridge, we've got, and I don't know where this road will lead or what the future may hold, but I'll keep on searching for a love that's true, and I'll keep on carrying this heavy load. Goes to a chorus, and then it even puts in an outro, Willie. And then it says, and though these hard times may never end, and though the road may be long, I'll keep on searching for a love that's true, and I'll keep on singing this blues song. Okay, so
it's not...
It came up with those lyrics in less than a minute.
Right. And so it's hard because I took a look at the article myself, and so I'm biased because I know going into it that this has been written by AI. So I could just say, oh, well, that's this. No, honestly, I don't know if I could pull different lyrics. I think where it's going to matter the most, I think it might. So going back to whether this is good or bad, maybe not even help, but it may force people to be just that more considerate of the lyrics they write to try to differentiate themselves. And I think the same way that whether it's a Spotify or any of these streaming services, what we've learned is that again and again and again, music is going to rely more and more and more as an industry on live performances. Because here's where the difference is. Even if the AI can eventually write something where it really is more or less indistinguishable from that written by a human, I don't think anyone's going to have an interest in shelling out $62 for a show to go watch someone press a button on a computer. So I think in a way it continues the trend we're already seeing, is that it's music is purely a live game now, because that's really the only place where there's still some sort of sacred quality to it. Does this make sense, Pete? I mean, Pete, do you think this is good?
I get what you're saying. And so it is very interesting, Willie, how, all of a sudden we've got these lyrics in less than a minute, right?
Yeah.
And so I think for a musician, it could be helpful at times. If you're going through writer's block and you need some inspiration, I think AI could be used as a tool. Now, looking at these lyrics, on first glance, are these the greatest lyrics that you've ever read? Probably not.
No.
But it does give someone a bit of a start. So next up, Willie, we have the lyrics, right? But we don't have a title for the song.
No.
So we asked ChatGPT, what's a good title for the song? And it responded with Guided by the Blues.
Okay. It's a little generic, but it's not.
So
it's not out of the realm.
It could be used as a tool. Like if you had lyrics for a song where you're like, oh, I don't know what the title is. Could you give me some ideas? ChatGPT would spit them out for you. So that is kind of interesting. But now, so we have a song title and we have the lyrics, but we don't actually have like the music that goes along with it. So we asked ChatGPT to write a chord progression that matches the lyrics for Guided by the Blues, and it quickly provided this response. So for the verse, it gives us a chord progression: C, F, C, G, A minor, F, G, C, G, F, C, G. And then for the chorus, C, G, A minor, F, C, G, F, C. And then it has a bridge as well: A minor, F, C, G, A minor, F, G, C. And then an outro as well: C, G, A minor, F, C, G, F, C. And then it says, this progression uses basic chords in the key of C and incorporates the 1, 4, 5, and 6 chords, which are common in blues music. The chords provide a strong foundation for the lyrics, and the changes between the verses, chorus, and bridge help to create a sense of progression and movement in the song. So it actually matches the chord progression goes specifically with the lyrics. So you can match them with that. So you could actually go on bluesrockreview.com. You could go click on this article and it would give you everything for the song. So if you're at home, Willie, you can go pick up your guitar and you can actually like play this song.
It's a little bit eerie. That would be a word I'd use in all of this. It's eerie.
What's crazy is how quickly it puts this together. You know, like you literally have a song in 2 minutes.
I saw, and this makes me think of an experience I had. It was before the pandemic, the last South by Southwest before the pandemic, whichever year that was. Once again, I don't think I'll ever have my years straight ever again since the pandemic. But whatever year was right before that, I went and sat in on one of the expositions, and it was AI in music. Now, this was not so much ChatGPT. This is that they had fed a specific computer program to do the music part. So there weren't any lyrics in this instance. But I remember thinking, and the music was geared a little more towards classical sentiments, as far as movements and just the way it's constructed. It wasn't so much a blues or a rock or a pop music deal. And I was surprised because it sounded much better than I thought it would. And, I don't know, Pete. So what's going to happen? So
you know what's also crazy, Willie, is you could go to ChatGPT and say you have a specific artist. You could tell it, write me a song like, in the style of, insert artist, and it will do that. That's crazy.
I saw that too. And there's a part of me that at some point is going to wonder the legal ramifications of some of this. And I'm no law mind by any means, but there's a part of me that thinks that, okay, the same way that I can't go mimic. I can't start going around saying that I'm Pete Francis. I can't go around saying that I'm Kenny Wayne Shepherd. Like, I can't do that. I can't sit there and rip people off to that degree. I wonder if someone will step in and say, like, hey, it's one thing to go ahead, ChatGPT, and write your own thing. It's another thing to take all the data and, I guess, data points from specific artists and then just start churning out their style. Pete, don't you run into some legal issues there?
It's a good question, Willie, and I think that's something we're going to learn more about as time goes by and ChatGPT continues to gain popularity and more people start using it. Because right now, ChatGPT already has 100 million users, and this launched at the end of November. And so I think people are still learning, though, how they can use this and different ways that they can use this. So I don't think this is something really in the music industry quite yet, where a bunch of people have jumped in there and really have given this a whirl to kind of like see what it can do. But I think that does pose a really great question, Willie. What are the legal ramifications of this? And I think that's going to be something that's interesting to follow moving forward. So I guess we can end with this. Do you guys see AI as a pathway to the future of songwriting? Do you think it can help songwriters get through writer's block, or do you think it's just another avenue that technology is really just ruining the music business? We'd love to get your thoughts. Leave a comment down below. Definitely an interesting topic.